good afternoon, good evening. If you're watching from, my name is Sande. Welcome to this amazing YouTube channel. It's underscore Sande. So on this channel today, I'm going to talk about how to survive in Nairobi. How I'm surviving in Nairobi. So check and watch the video till the end to enjoy the video, guys. One thing to note is that in Nairobi, you use less energy, less energy, more of mental skills to survive. When you use a lot of energy, you struggle to survive. You can opt to use a lot of energy or less energy, but I think the easiest way is to lose less energy so that we're able to work things out. So silent cool Nairobi, Kenya, man. So today's video, we're gonna talk about surviving in Nairobi after having a very nice, enjoyable moment in village life. So this is how just enjoy surviving in Nairobi by trying to make things work, man. Nairobi is a place to make money. Then in the village, you go and enjoy the money. Don't know if that is the same on your case. So you make money in Nairobi, then when you go back to the village, you enjoy your mukuchu. So let's have a stretch, and there on this video I'll explain on how I'm surviving in Nairobi. So watch the video till the end. We're gonna see how we're surviving in Nairobi, Kenya, and trying to make things work for everyone and for all of us. So welcome to the channel, guys. Some nice silent places here. This old metallic gate in Kanairo. So Kanairo is just a slang to mean Nairobi. So as I was saying, there's a very funny Swahili saying that says Nairobi ni shamba la mawe. That means Nairobi is a very hectic place to survive, and that suggests that many people are trying their best to make sure that they make it here in Kanairo. So what do people do here to survive? One thing that you have to wake up early. Most people wake up here early in the morning, very early in the morning, because most of the work they do is say 6 to 6, some do 8 to 5. So you have to be very punctual. Nairobi, you need to be very punctual. That's the first thing that you need to take note. You be very punctual, take note of time management. That's why even if you go to the streets of Nairobi, you're gonna see people walk as if they're running. Whether someone is walking but is running at the same time, that means that you need to be very fast in whatever you do. The errands you carry need to be very fast, always fast. So Nairobi is not a place to slow down things, like let's cool things down. No, it's marathon. And I've never even understood why people from the Eldoret city, Eldoret side, they are the best marathoners. Yet Nairobians are very fast at each and everything they do. So that's one thing that you need to put into consideration. Fast every time, like marathon all the time. So that's one thing. The second thing is that you need to be very smart. As far as you are being very fast, you need to be very smart. So the smartness will come in on the things that you have to do to survive. There are many things that you can do, so you're the one to choose which side you think will be best for you. So people will tend to do to be employed. Some will do self-employment, but I usually think that those who are doing self-employment are much better in terms of how they manage their time and how they able to grow. When you are self-employed, you might grow faster compared to someone who is employed, because when you're employed, you have to report to work from, let's say, early in the morning, then you get out of work late in the evening. So you are working under some control. That means you might lose time for you to do your own things. So Nairobi is a tricky area, very tricky. That's why he's saying it's a tricky situation to survive here. You need to be very hardworking, you need to be smart, you need to be time conscious, you know. Every other day, time is factor here in Nairobi. There's no cornering, like you want to do things the way you want. Here you need to be very, very fast each and every time you catch up with the activities that you are doing. The other thing that will make you survive in Nairobi is that try to live at residential areas that are cheaper to you. You know, something that is cheaper to me might not be cheaper to another person. For instance, someone who's paying 20,000 Kenyan shillings rent, that's around $200 rental per month, might be okay with that. But now that might be or her cheapest option, but someone else's cheapest option might be 4,000. That's around $40. So you need to live um, where you think you will be able to accommodate it. So house is also another big factor, in Nairobi. The rent, it's a big factor. So for you to survive in Nairobi, you need to check on that. So I've looked at the how you need to be very fast, you need to be very smart, they need to be very careful with the area you live, where you stay, because the area, the neighborhood that you are staying will determine how much money you're gonna pay. You see, for instance, let's just give you a small example. Someone who is staying in Kileleshwa will pay higher rents compared to someone who is staying in Kayole. Kile and Kayo, Kile, Kayo. So Kayole will pay less rent compared to Kileleshwa. And that guy who lives in Kileleshwa, there's higher chance that he earns more money than that who lives in Kayole. So where you live, the resident that you live kind of tries to make sure that you fit in according to your pockets, so that those guys who earn a lot of money, they have to live in a posh areas like Pudaiga, Gigiri, Lavington, Runda. Then the other guys who just trying to make things work, find themselves in their own group. So you see, now we come up with something called social class, whereby people who interact with each other are closely related to their social class. The amount of money they have makes them to be close to the people of the same class. Ever thought of that? That's the thing now. So where you live determines the amount of money you pay for the rent, or if you own that house, that's another case. Then something else you need to check out is where you live, the foodstuffs. Many people think that acquiring food is cheaper than rent. Sometimes even the the amount of food sometimes even the food you buy might be higher than the rent that you are going to pay. So you need to check out on that. So the rent is something, then the food is even more than that. Other thing about the food is that where you live, you need to make sure that the food that you live in, you are eating is kind of uh, organic. Okay, so even that some areas that if you buy this in big supermarkets, you might find that most of them they're not really organic, they might kind of inorganic. So you need to live in a place whereby you might be able to find food from areas like Kisii, Kiambu, because we have some food where, for instance, vegetable vendors who bring food from the farms direct. That's a better one. And if you were able to know how that uh, farmer is farming the crops, that's a very an added advantage. So the place that you live in will determine which kind of food you're gonna buy. So that's the survival tactics in Nairobi. It's not an easy thing. Then if you're able to do some multiple jobs in Nairobi, for instance, one time when I came to Nairobi in 2013, I used to have like two jobs. So early in the morning, I could wake up and go to Gikomba to hustle by selling sweets, tropical, and for you to sell that tropical very well, you need to put them in your hands, and you kind of the coins. You arrange coins into your hands like 200 shillings of coin. Then you have to shake them. As you say, tropical biscuit, as a hustling. So I used to do that early in the morning. Then after noon hours, there was a butcher man, very nice butcher man. I used to sell some ingohor chicken. So that's another hustle that I had. So I had two hustles, you know. So that was very stable because, you know, early in the morning you're gonna go get some money from other means. Afternoon hours you're also having to making money. So people who do that, who hustle in that way, they are really in a very safe side compared to those guys who do the 8 to 5 or 6 to 6. But you know, for those who are doing the hustling also, there's one challenge that you need to have discipline in terms of money management, you know, because you know you are getting money each and every day. That means you are able to, you need to be in a very well you need to have, need to be in a, to have discipline to be able to spend your money in a required way, because you know you're having it each and every time. Can you imagine? Each and every time having that, each and every day you are having money, so you need to make sure that you spend it very well, or else when the end month comes you're gonna be struggling. That's the challenge, the day-to-day earnings. So that's the tactics you can use to survive in Nairobi. Then one thing that I really forgot, which is very important and very crucial, is about the thing about transport. You know, the means of transport that you use might end up costing you more than you ever thought. Also, the area that you live. When you are working, let's say for instance you are working in the Nairobi CBD, try your best to live closer to the CBD so that you may not take uh, try your best to live closer to where you're working. You know, someone is working in Kiambu town should stay closer to Kiambu town, you know, so that you may be able to spend less transport, because the far you are, the more transport. But there's another scenario that people tend to work on. Some guys tend to use this tactic whereby they live far away from their workplace, then they pay less rent, but now the transport is higher. So it's kind of just, you're just trying to balance the things, because if you pay less rent but you pay a lot of transport, same case to the person who's paying more rent and less transport. Can you see how it's coming up? So let's say for instance you live in a very far place, you pay 10,000, um, you pay 4,000 rent, then transport you use like 4,000. Other guy lives closer to the workplace, he pays 6,000 rent, then he uses transport for 2,000. So it's just the same thing, just depending on how you are balancing it. So it's just about the decision that each and everyone makes, you see. Those are the tactics that you use to survive in Nairobi, so take note of that. And I'm trying to survive in Nairobi after having a very nice village series that was so good. So if you have not watched the village series, I've placed a playlist there, so go and check out, you know, go and check out on the playlist. There's something that you can go and check out. I've placed some 14 videos, 1 2 3 4 to 14. So we're gonna be able to view the village series that was at the playlist. So thank you so much for watching, guys. And on the comment section, tell us how you're surviving in the town that you are living in. You know, you have a very wide audience, so tell us how you're surviving and the tactics you are using to survive in the place that you are living in. Let me give you the summary of the things that you have talked about. 1, check on the rent. 2, transportation. 3, food. 4, time management. Then 5, being smart, you know. So those are the things that will give you an humble time to live in Nairobi. So thank you so much. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.